Barry set out the ambition to enrich people's lives with the knowledge and appreciation of statistics, and that is 60 million people, and the campaign has to get us there. So, apart from the vox pops, the next thing we did was do something a little more structured to find out what people think. So we asked Ipsos Mori to go out, and they went out last week and interviewed just over 1,000 people, and this is what we found from that. I won't read through the whole thing, but I'll highlight a progression that very rapidly diminishes in terms of people's understanding. About 90% of people can work out what 50 is as a proportion of 200. Well, that's quite good, I suppose. I don't know what the other 11% are struggling with, or we do know. The results are available, we'll see the results. There's some interesting answers. You go down to 70%, a number that's not here, but I think is also quite interesting, when you ask people to average 5, 10 and 15. So now we have a statistical concept, and you go down to 70%. But then you go down to the bottom left on this slide, only 30% can work out what is going on when you toss a coin twice. That is a very limited level of knowledge, and that's before you get onto the whole issue of whether people trust government numbers and all the rest of it. So we are starting from quite a low base. How are we going to do it? Close the skills gap, create a new culture, and reposition statistics as a life skill. What we're trying to do is move people progressively along a path which actually starts below raising awareness. It's actually an active dislike of numbers. People will run away from them and be proud of their own ignorance. So we have to tackle that and move people up this line towards, hopefully by the end of the campaign, people really wanting to use statistics because it helps them make the decisions they need to make in their lives. Now we need to get to 60 million people, but we can't do that ourselves. So we have targeted 4 groups that we're going to address and have particular aspects of the campaign targeted at. The media first. The RSS has been running awards for journalists, and Paul mentioned the importance of kind of carrots, and this campaign is mainly about carrots. We're helping people to use statistics better. We will do a whole bunch of things with journalists. We will get into schools. The RSS Centre for Statistical Education at Plymouth is a world leader in the programmes that it runs, and they are working very much along the levels of teachers getting into that very congested curriculum. There are a whole bunch of things that we can very specifically do to help that market. Employers. The CBI, the Institute of Directors, the TUC are all enthusiastically signed up to the campaign. There's been a lot in the press recently about just how desperate they are for more statistically literate employees. We've got a bunch of things that will help us get to them too. And finally, elected representatives. So much is mediated by what we hear from politics. We will be working very actively with that group. And I think that's probably all I've got time to say.